All right, man. Quick and easy, right? I don't like this. Anyways, measure your progress. Better yet, just pull it back, all right? Measure your progress, measure your efforts, pick measurable goals, right? You need measurable goals. You need to know if you're hitting or missing your targets. Plain and simple. That's why we need descriptive, measurable goals, right? It's not enough to want to pass a class. How much do you want to pass it by? What are you aiming for? What's your average? What is it that you need to hit? Are you trying to hit a 70, 75, 80 average? I was aiming for an 85. I wanted higher grades. I wanted at least A's. Why? Because if I made it less than that, I would still have an acceptable grade. Correct? Even if I wasn't hitting my targets, I am still above par and still doing more than I need to. So that's an example, right? Uh, Measurable targets. I want to lose weight. That's not enough. All right. What are you doing? I need to lose 50 pounds. We're getting there. All right. Is there a reason why? Do you have a wedding coming up, perhaps? I need to lose 50 pounds by 2026, by 2027, XYZ. All right, cool. Now we have some parameters to work within and we can better roadmap our situation. That's why we measure our goals. It's not enough to say, I want, okay, this might be a bad example. I was going to say job. I want a job. I think it's safe to say that's it. What job? I don't know. A job that brings me fulfillment. We're getting somewhere. Now we could measure that. Now we can kind of guess if we're hitting or missing our targets. I want a job that brings me meaning and fulfillment. Chances are, chances are, if you're pumping gas, that's not it. If your goal is to just pay the bills, keep your family provided for, to have your grocery bills covered, pumping gas is probably fine. It's acceptable. That's a fine job. Perfect. But if your goal is, I want to have a fulfilling job that makes me a minimum of 75K after taxes. Now we're cooking. Now we got a very specific job with very specific quotas. You likely need to be a professional. You likely need a degree. You likely need to go to school. So then we know how to get there. Now we know what the next 4 years are to get to a job that brings you fulfillment with 75K after taxes. Measurable. We could measure that. We could roadmap. We could plan. We got room to fail. You have space to fail when you know what your goals are specifically. You know your threshold for your goal, the bare minimum, failure, and utter disaster, right? More or less, right? You can break it down in this way. So I just encourage people when you're making your plans, when you're goal setting, when you're trying to get to a better place physically, mentally, spiritually, financially, whatever it is, you need some specific goals. You need to measure and you need to assess often. Because what I'm seeing a lot of is just people listlessly going about and doing things and letting them happen, which is okay. It's not awful. I just don't think that's going to fulfill you the way that I expect people want fulfillment. I talk to y'all, I listen. Y'all are looking for meaning, y'all are looking for the purpose and whatever that could be. It's what you want it to be. It's whatever it is that this is driven to do. So I'm driven to just speak. I'm driven to share. I'm driven to share what happens behind my eyes and in my head. So I do it. I just do it. Measurable. What's my goal? I'm trying to do at least 2 videos a week. That's my goal. I'm trying to do 2 YouTube videos a week where I speak at least 5 minutes per video to share with you and try to motivate and push people to do better. That's it. That's it. I don't care how many people watch. I don't care how many people listen. I don't particularly care how many people do it. I am just putting this out there to the world because that's what I think I need to do. Cool. That's it. Very simple, specific, measurable goal. Am I making at least 10 minutes of content a week? How do I do that? What's the best way? Right here, this is where I have time to do it. Like this, in this format. I can't overly produce the show I want to. I don't have the time. I don't have the resources. But I could do this 2, 3, 4 times a week. Easy. And if I don't, tough shit. I'll get it done next week. Cool, cool. Something to consider when you're planning for the future and you're making goals and you want something specific, measurable goals. Nishin, you got it? Cool, man. I'm going to go enjoy my lunch. Bye.